Welcome back, friends. Coming out of the women's trap finals, it's time for men. We hope you're ready for this event, as we expect quite a show after seeing those qualification results and, of course, the shoot-offs that followed. We'll go into more as we begin with the finals, but for now, once again, we're in beautiful hot Cyprus in Nicosia for the ISSF World Cup in shotgun. This is almost the last day, so we're soaking up all the good energy here at the Nicosia Olympic Shooting Complex. Really a vast and wonderful range over here. And coming to you live for two trap finals today, we're broadcasting on the ISSF official YouTube channel as well as our Facebook page, so hit that like and subscribe button not to miss any of the finals from the ISSF competitions. My name is Martina Lucic. I'll be your commentator for this week's finals, and today joining me is Carrie Garrison, a back-to-back silver medalist at a World Cup. She just won her second silver medal 45 minutes ago. Welcome. How are you feeling?
I am feeling awesome. This was such a cool experience, and getting to sit here and watch the men's final is so exciting.
I'm really happy to have you right here. You just been there. I think you're going to give the freshest perspective anyone ever has, at least with me in the finals. Thank you so much for being here. So it's 33 degrees Celsius. I think it was pretty hot, even a bit more hot for the women's finals. But there was so much wind in the beginning of the finals. Things were flying around. I don't know if you noticed, but at one point one of the speakers fell down, and it was a crazy situation right here. But it was also a bit crazy where you guys were. How are you feeling at the beginning of the final?
I was just trying to keep my hat on my head. It was so windy, and I was trying not to make a scene. But yeah, I was just trying to get my gun still, get everything under control, and just get comfortable in the wind, pushing it around. But yeah, I think I settled in, and it went pretty well.
Were you nervous in the beginning when you saw so much lost targets, so many?
I was very surprised. I thought it would be a much more tighter final than it was. So to see such great shooters missing so many targets, it was very surprising.
Absolutely. Here are the event details, always the same for trap. They go around 76 meters away, eco-friendly clay targets, and here is the 12-gauge shotgun. They say it's around 3.5-4 kilos. How much is yours?
Mine is about 6 to 7 pounds. It's actually pretty light for a shotgun.
All right, and you know how they always customize theirs. Nathan Hills really gave me an insight on it. What about yours? But wait, let's see the finalists here. We have Czechia, we have Spain, we have Great Britain, Slovakia, Belgium, and we have... That's it, actually. We have 2 Slovakian athletes in the finals. Okay, they're doing some test fire, as you guys did. We'll talk about the shotgun a little bit later. But the test fire is definitely one place where you actually get to shoot your first shot and the clay is not coming out. What do you think? What's the test fire for you guys in the finals? How important is it?
For me, I love the test fire. It just kind of gets a little bit of the nerves out, get your gun flowing, yeah, it helps you settle in at the beginning, definitely.
You get the first one out with a bunch of nerves if you can, and then you're ready for your first target. Here are the coaches. They're sitting right behind the athletes, and sometimes they get very celebratory. They get really excited what's going on, but the jury keeps them all in their seats, I have to say. But definitely what you guys did in the women's finals was really amazing, and thank you for being here with me again. And I'm just gonna jump to Jamie Sangram on the field of play to give us a bit more of the atmosphere here. Jamie, how's it going?
Hey Martin, it's going pretty good here. I'm in the field of play here at the Cyprus Olympic shooting range. The test fire has just finished, so the finalists have left the field of play. They are just over there, and they are now in their final mental preparation before I will personally present them to the audience that is gathering here in Nicosia ahead of the final individual final at this ISSF World Cup for shotgun in Nicosia. 117 athletes were competing in this event. It has been whittled down to the final 6. The weather seems to have calmed down a little bit. I heard you, Martina, talking with Kerry, and of course the wind went crazy out of nowhere for that women's trap final. Seems to have calmed down a little bit. So hopefully, for the athletes' sake at least, and also for the spectators, because it was pretty wild for them as well, and also for me with my papers and my hair flying everywhere, hopefully it will remain calm like this. But in around about 2 minutes from now, we'll be introducing the finalists to the spectators here in Nicosia and to you at home. So Martina, I'm going to get ready for that. So for now, I'm going to hand back over to you and Kerry.
Thank you so much, Jamie. And well, we got those minute or 2 minutes to explain the rules. Kerry, would you do the honors?
Yeah, so basically they're just gonna shoot 25 targets to start out, all 6 of them, and then after the lowest score out of the 25 will drop out, and then after that they'll do rounds of 5 until they're down to 2 shooters, where they'll shoot 10 targets, and that will determine your silver and gold medalists.
Thank you. I couldn't have said it better myself, I think. We have the world ranking over here. I think the top one is the 28th place, but the qualification was pretty high. How are you feeling in qualification since you had only 2 days?
In qualification, I did not think I was making the final. This morning I got up and did not think that was happening until after my last round. So yeah, it was awesome to end up in the final.
You see, sometimes that's how it goes. I was chatting with Mopsi Varoma actually yesterday, and she was telling me her bronze medal story in one of the competitions. She shot her first round 22, and one of the commentators asked her, how are you feeling? Are you feeling lucky today? She said, no, not at all. And then in the end, she won a bronze medal, and they came over and said, what do you mean? And she's like, well, everybody else were worse. I mean, it really depends on everybody else as well. I know you guys are really into kind of having this competition with yourself, but at the end of the day, it really depends on everybody else and how they're shooting to complete the competition. So in the end, you didn't think you were going to be in the finals. Not only that you're in the finals, you'll be on the podium after this final as well. And I think, it's amazing when you don't really expect it and then it happens all of a sudden. I guess that can be a true gift of the day, I guess. I think we're getting ready for the presentation. We're coming closer and closer to that moment, as men should be starting their first shot at 5:30 exactly. And I think it's a bit unfair what happened in the women's finals. Now that I look at it, the wind has stopped basically completely, and the men are not going to have the same situation the women had at all. But yeah, you'll get to see it from this perspective now. Let's go back to the shotgun. You said, what do you do when you customize your shotgun? What are you shooting with right now?
I shoot a Krieghoff K80. My Krieghoff is just a standard version. I've actually had it since I was 12, and I've competed with it for a while.
Wow.
I love it. Couldn't say enough good things about it. It's a parkour, so the barrels are together, and my barrels are completely choked, so you can't change the chokes. So, but yeah, I love it. It's
Ladies
awesome.
and gentlemen.
All right, perfect timing. We are on for the presentation of our athletes, the 6 men that are coming out for the finals of the ISSF World Cup in Nicosia, Cyprus 2025 Trap Men event.
Welcome to the Cyprus Olympic shooting range here in Nicosia. I'm now going to introduce you to the 6 athletes competing in the Trap Men's event. So get ready to make lots of noise for each and every one of them.
On position 1 with bib number 1, Jan Palacki of Czechia, 24-year-old.
Bib number 1, representing Czechia. This is the 24-year-old's first final at a World Cup. So let's give a Nicosia welcome to Jan Palacki.
Jan was 7th in Lonato in 2023. He was almost in the final of a World Cup, but this is his first one.
Representing Slovakia. He's a 4-time Olympian, a 2-time Trap Men World Champion, and a European Champion with 8 World Cup medals, including
Gold from in Nicosia back in 2013, Eric Varga.
Eric Varga of Slovakia, the 48-year-old with 4 medals in the World Cups total to his name, 2-time senior world champion.
Representing Great Britain. He's an Olympian, a 2-time World Championship medalist with a tally of 4 World Cup medals, 2 bronzes and 2 golds. Aaron Heading.
Aaron Heading of Great Britain, the 37-year-old won 2 World Cups in his career, one in Malta and one in Elaine.
Representing Spain, he has a track team World Cup medal from 2022. This is his first individual final at a senior World Cup. Let's welcome Manuel Murcia.
Manuel Murcia of Spain, the 45-year-old. Was last time in Nicosia in 2020 and he was 30th. Now he's in the final.
He has World Cup silver from Rio 2016. Today marks his 4th final appearance at a World Cup and first since 2018. It's Yannick Peters.
Yannick Peters of Belgium, the 39-year-old silver medalist from Rio back in 2016.
Number 6 representing Slovakia. 2 World Cup medals, including a team silver and an individual silver from Baku 2024. This is his first World Cup appearance of the 2025 season. Filip Marinov.
Slovakia's Filip Marinov, the 30-year-old, this is the 2nd final ever at an individual final in a World Cup.
But the jury member in charge is Dragan Bojic of Croatia.
Dražen Božić as the jury member in charge of this final.
Referee is Yanis Herakleios from Cyprus.
Yanis Herakleios of Cyprus as the referee in charge, right behind the athletes.
To decide the World Cup medals. Good luck to all of the athletes and let the final begin.
All right. So Jamie is preparing the audience here in Cyprus, in Nicosia, and we can see now here a start list for the men's trap final. Who do you think is the favorite of this final today? Hard to say, huh?
It is hard to say. The Slovakians have quite a bit of experience, so
Yep.
I think it'll definitely be interesting.
Absolutely. Eric Varga is a 2-time senior world champion. That was 10 years ago in Lonato, 2015, and 1 year before that in Granada. And he was 4th here actually in Nicosia as a junior back in 1995. And well, that means he goes really a long way with this shooting range. Yeah, it's I think it's a great thing you can know when you're so young and you know that your career can last for a long time. How do you feel about that?
I hope it does, and it's awesome to see. Just like I feel like my career is hopefully coming into bloom now, so hopefully I'm in it for a long time.
Here's Yannick Peters. Last time he was in Nicosia in 2020, he was 35th. This is his 3rd time here. Many of the athletes keep coming back to the shotgun ranges. There's, well, as many as there are on this world. And Filip Marinov, unfortunately, with his first missed target and the first missed target in general, definitely looks like a bit of a definitely less chaotic start than we saw in the women's finals when it comes to the wind and also missing or finding the targets. Peters. Okay, let's see if Marino has a comeback after this one. Oh, that was a miss twice in a row. Looks like it's a bit of a rocky start for Marinov. Everybody else seems to be doing pretty okay. How would you feel in this moment?
It's a tough spot. It's you want to start a final solid and get settled in, and so it's hard after 2 in a row, but I'm sure he'll figure it out here in a second.
Let's see, heading now. That's a hit. Varga also lost his one, maybe to
sympathize with his teammate over there with 2 missed targets. Back into Peters. That was a left target over there. I don't know if you've seen it. Which one do you prefer, the left ones or the right targets?
It honestly depends on the day. Give me a straightaway target every day. That would be great. Normally, I like the left-hand targets better. Normally, I do better.
Yeah, in general, this is what the athletes tell me, especially if they're right-handed. It's a bit harder to turn to right. But I did speak to Nathan Hales in the last final, and he said it's just something you need to get used to. And I'm like, okay, Olympic champion. I'm gonna listen to that. And I don't know, maybe when it's I thought that the straight target is the one that's kind of the easiest, if I can say it. But he says it's the one that doesn't really forgive.
Right.
If you go too hard on it. Did you have that experience?
I did. I think the last target I missed in my final was a straightaway, so they're definitely the easiest to miss. And you'll miss it, and it comes out, and you you don't even know. But yeah.
So it happens. Let's see Varga's last shot. He only had 1 missed target, and it was his 3rd one. Then heading missed the last one, and he goes back into a hit. Nicely done. The Spanish athlete. Nice 5 out of 5. Good feeling, I can assume, when you start off your final with a nice round 5 out of 5. How is it shooting in front of the audience, and you have the flash targets with the powder, and you have all the cameras? I can imagine that's not something you can do in training ever, to get your heart pumping so hard.
Definitely not. It's such a hard thing to simulate, and when me growing up training, my dad would play music from the back of the truck to try to just get the same feeling, but it is difficult.
That's good improvisation. I like that. 5 out of 5 for Palatsky and Murcia at the top over there. 4 hits from Varga, Headings, and Peters. And right now, Marino is at the bottom, losing his first 2 targets. It can be a little hard, I can imagine, going into the finals and losing the first 2 targets. How would you go about that?
I would just try to find whatever feeling I can find and just keep on steady, because you can come back from 2 targets most of the time. So you can keep on going.
Yeah, some of the Olympic medalists have started this journey in the finals with a missed target, and they ended up on the podium. So definitely, it's not over, as they say. It's not over till the fat lady sings. I really like that. You can't give up until it's really, really done. And when at some point it happens, when the math doesn't really let you win anymore. That was a nice shot from Marino. Looks like he might be getting back into it. Qualifications were pretty good. That was the right target. Would you say that the wind is affecting the targets right now? Because I can't tell. It's not a lot of wind, but it's still happening.
It's not terrible in the targets. If anything, it's pushing them up a little bit, which is a little bit easier to work with, in my opinion, than them being shoved down. So it's not terrible right now, though.
I think that you had a couple, if not a few, of those who were shoved down in your finals. How many of them do you think you missed? Did you manage to find them?
There was a couple that I did think I managed to adjust and hit. But that's such a hard thing to do. It's a lot easier in qualification when you have 2 shots.
Yeah.
You can make that adjustment, but in this final with just 1 shot, it's hard to come back when a bird dips under your gun.
So how many times, let's say a week, or I don't know what the process is, but I'm sure you do have training where you're shooting only 1 shot just to prepare for the finals. How often do you do that whereas doing like a normal training?
For me, I actually kind of mix in a one-shot training in every practice I do. If a lot of times I shoot more with one shot than two shots. So it's something that's always going to be important. Your first shot is the most important in a final or in qualification. So it's just something I always want to, it's the important thing in practicing to me.
All right. That was a nice straight target for Palacki. Let's see, Varga, now we're coming to the first 10 targets, and I guess at this point, even in the women's finals, things were kind of settling down. I think now in the men's finals, they already started kind of settled down. I guess I always say whoever goes first, I say they're breaking the ice, but today you guys, ladies, actually really broke the ice and really went through that wind and took one for the team, I would say. Because men right now in the men's strap event, they're having a bit of a better time regarding the weather and regarding the results in the first 10 targets, to be honest. The qualification were really good. Palacki was at the top with 124. And then we had 3 shootovers with Varga Heading and Murcia. 123. And then Peters, a 122. And then another 5 athletes in the shoot-off to get into the 6th place, which ended up being Filip Marinovs. But in that shoot-off was also David Kostalecki of Czechia, the 2-time Olympic medalist. So they also had a very strong competition and qualification. Some of them didn't even end up here in the finals.
So we've now had 10 targets. We've now got 3 athletes.
10 targets are done. 9 targets from Palacki, Varga,
For the gold medal, it's Palacki, it's Varga,
Murcia as well.
They're all on 9 hits each.
Heading, Peters,
In 4th place,
Marinov right now. I wouldn't yet call them that they're in the red zone, because there's another 15 targets to go before the first elimination part. So we can take it easy and slowly into it. I had a conversation with Nathan about how nice it is when you're shooting as a junior and you have some of your senior athletes that you look up to, and then all of a sudden you find yourself in a senior final and you're shooting next to them, and then all of a sudden you're on the podium with them. How was that journey for you?
It's a crazy experience, actually. I'm still a junior. I have 1 more year. So it's awesome to kind of break into the open and getting the medals from that before I even age out of junior. But it's awesome. In Buenos Aires, one of my really good friends, Rachel Tozier, she actually sat on the field as a coach for me, and I shoot against her in the States, and she's definitely a role model to me. So it's just awesome to have that experience and for her to be able to be up there and support me.
That's amazing. I mean, it seems really like going into the senior category and not having that moment where you're like, oh, now I need to, because you already did. So maybe a little bit of an easier transition for you. Not every junior gets to do that. I think you're one of the rare ones, actually. Peter's over here. Nice hit. Let's see, Marino kind of right in front of us. That was a straight target, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Your favorite. Palacki. The left one. Yeah, it seems like the wind is always blowing from the left-hand side to the right and pushing those right targets. making them even harder to hit. Peters. That's his first hit in these 5. All right, things seem to be pretty tight at this point, but we've only gone through half of the first round of 25, and things got pretty heated up after the first elimination, and then you start 5 by 5. I've always noticed that the tempo kind of changes. You know, it's a bit more slow going on in these first 25 targets, and then when the elimination starts, and it's almost like everything happens at the same time. I don't know if you felt the same way in the finals now.
It definitely, the first 25, you're just calm, and really you have more time to think, so that's either a good or a bad thing. And then once you get down to the medals, when it's a lot less people on the line, you don't have a lot of time to do your process or to think or do anything, so you kind of just have to just get up there and shoot.
What do you prefer from the two?
It depends. I think if mentally, sometimes it's easier to just have to just kick it in gear and just start shooting. But sometimes I like a more calmer pace, just like the normal 25.
Yeah, because this basically is what you guys do in your one round in qualification. And then you rest for a while, and then you have another round of qualification. And if it's like here in Nicosia, you did your qualification in only 2 days. Sometimes you shoot 3 days. I can imagine that yesterday was a bit of a tough day, huh?
It was a very long day. I think we almost had 3.5 hours in between rounds, so very long day.
Let's see where we're at now after 15 targets. Palatsky at the top with 14 hits, 13 for Varga heading and Murcia, and then Marinov with 12. Peters at the bottom, now getting a bit more of what we can call a red zone. He's had at least 1 miss per round of 5.
Another 5 targets coming up.
We got 10 more targets to go on before the first elimination, and I think once we get to the last 5 before that first adding out to the final, we're gonna start to feel the tension a bit more. Right now it seems pretty relaxed, but I'm pretty sure that in the heads of these athletes who are on that station is not as relaxed as it might seem from the outside. Peters. Seems like the Slovakians are kind of keeping together. They're both following Palatsky heading and Murcia. There he is now. That was a nice hit from him. At a World Cup in Lima, he won a silver medal with his team back in 2022, and that's actually his only World Cup medal, so it would be a big thing for the Spanish athlete today to win his first individual medal. He is 45, and as you can see still going pretty strong, shooting in a final. Do you imagine yourself shooting when you're 45?
I hope so. That's crazy to think about, and that's one of the awesome things about this sport.
Yeah.
Is it doesn't matter what age, you can get out here and shoot either way.
Yeah, I've seen even athletes who are in their 60s. I know that that's a bit of a more of a rare situation to happen, but it has happened, and they would be shooting at a World Cup in the final, and just I mean, astonishing actually. I don't think any other sport would really have that big of a range when it came to your like peak moment in your career. Palatsky, he's doing pretty good considering this is his first ever final at a World Cup, and this is his first chance for an international medal. He's got a silver medal from the European Championship in Osijek when it comes to a team competition, but he is competing for his first individual medal on an international level. Murcia in with the hit. Peters. For Peters, it might be third time's the charm. This is his third time here in Nicosia. Not the only one whose third times this is. That was a miss from Palatsky. Eric Varga won his second World Cup here in Nicosia back in 2013. Can you imagine that? That was 12 years ago. Out of his 3 World Cup golds, one of them was here in Nicosia. I think he's the one who goes the most way back with this shotgun range. Which one would you say is your favorite one so far that you've been to?
It's hard to beat Leonardo. It's beautiful. I really enjoyed Buenos Aires, and the outcome was great.
Yeah.
So that was even better.
So another perfect round there from Manuel. There's also one for Peters and Murcia, and the athlete from Spain has moved up.
All right, let's see. 20 targets. 18 at the top for Palatsky and Murcia. Then we've got 17 with Heading and Marinov, and Varga and Peters with 16. They kind of all found their way, found their place right now in the rank. You wouldn't want to be down with Varga and Peters, but it's not such a big difference at this point. I think 2 targets could be still called a pretty tight final after 20 targets. What would you say?
It definitely, the next 5 targets will definitely make a difference. I think you get a little bit more nerves, you know, elimination is coming, so yeah, we'll see.
They seem to be pretty cool, pretty relaxed in this position, and maybe it's just me looking from here because the wind does make people in general a bit more nervous, especially when things are flying around and you have to keep track of what's happening. But yeah, it seems like a bit more relaxed final at this point. They're hitting their targets, doing everything pretty well so far. Here we have 6 out of 6 targets in this round so far. Peters is in the red zone because of his beep number as well. But yeah, it might be a tough decision, tough shot. Tight break, and here's where the beep number comes in hand. You want to be as high as possible, and with 124 hits out of 125. That's a really great score for Jan Palatsky there at the top. He managed to secure himself with beep number 1. For now, I don't think he needs it. But that's going to be a first miss from Palatsky in this round. Varga into a hit on the right target. Be a miss from Heading. It seems like they're feeling that the first elimination is coming. What is going through your head at this moment when you're in this phase of the final?
I think it's important, especially for me, just to, if I'm having a solid first 25, it's just like focus on the next elimination. You know, I'm through this one. Just always keep looking forward in the final. So I think that's something really important for me.
All right, and I guess that's what they'll be doing. You just have to go through it. That was a miss from Varga as well. Yeah, we're getting definitely more reds over here as we're coming to the first elimination. We're coming closer and closer. Things are not ideal with everyone, but they're not as bad. I think, would you be okay with missing one target before the first elimination?
As long as I'm still in the final, I think I'd be okay with it.
I'll take anything. Just leave me in the final.
Yeah.
All right, one more shot. And currently, Varga is definitely in the red zone over there. A little help for him is his beep number, but it really depends on Heading and Peters over here. It's a nice hit. That was a very needed hit for Varga. But Heading also hits his target. The only chance Varga has right now is if Peter loses his target. Oh, and that's going to be a hit. It's not going to be a chance for Varga to stay in the final. And we have the first decision of the ISSF World Cup here in Nicosia, Cyprus 2025 for the two-time senior world champion from 10 years ago while he was in his 30s. Now, as he is 48, he's taking the 6th place, the Slovakian Erik Varga. It was a bit of a rocky final for him today. It was a bit of a better, I would say, qualification. He did do a great shoot-off and landed in the 2nd place. I think he put in a lot here, especially in the shoot-offs. The next 5 targets and decide the 5th place. But do you think that you can get a bit more tired for the finals if you have to shoot a lot of shoot-off shots after qualification?
I think you definitely might get a little bit tired, but if anything, sometimes I think it could be an advantage. You get a little bit more practice with the single barrel. So a lot of cases, I think you kind of get warmed up for the final, so it could be good.
All right, that's a very nice perspective. That is perspective of somebody who just won a medal. So that definitely makes sense. Definitely makes sense. Balatsky with a hit, Heading as well, Murcia. We've got Peters here as well. Marinov now. Things are starting to get a bit of a stronger tempo, not just because we're having eliminations after every 5 targets, but because there's less and less athletes to shoot those 5 targets. So we're definitely going faster. And as you said, there's no more time to think as much, and there's no more time to kind of have this chill vibe of like, okay, I'm going back to this, you know, I'm standing in my position and everything. Would you ever want to have more time when it comes to shooting in a sense of like you have 12 seconds? Would you want to have 15 seconds?
Honestly, I kind of like the 12 seconds. I think it's just the right amount of time to, I think a little more time for me would be a little bit more time to think or overthink. So I think the 12 seconds is just the right amount of time.
Good. It seemed so, for sure. Heading now. That's a nice, I think that was a straight target for Heading, Murcia. Another hit over there, Peters. Right target. It's gonna be a miss. I barely saw that target. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I think the light is getting a little darker and a little more difficult.
The sun is setting. What happens to the targets What happens to the way that you see the targets once it gets to the sunset part of the day?
I think especially the way the sun is right here, there's sometimes a little bit of a glare on the targets and you just can't see them as well, and just everything's a little darker. So it can be more difficult.
Do you use like a special shades for that situation, or you want to go just bare eyes?
I normally use more of a special lens. Situations I have when no lens, maybe in the rain or things like that. But usually here it's still so bright, even though the sun's going down. I would still use a lens.
Yeah, that's true. It's bright here. I can also tell because I'm squinting the whole time. Palatsky hit his last target heading as well. Murcia loses his target, but I do think that this one is going to be between Marinov and, well, everybody else at this point. Until this point, there was a chance, but not anymore. And again, I mean, look at that. 26 targets hit by all of the athletes, and the one who goes away is the one with the highest beep number, Filip Marinov
26 hits, the same total
of Slovakia.
Perfect round there to stay in the competition. Also the same total as all other athletes in this final. It's as tight as it can be. Bib numbers working hard. Peters in the danger zone on bib number. Palatsky heading, and Murcia, the other athletes remaining. 5 targets now for 4th place.
We're going on for the decision of the 4th place, which is the one nobody likes. You get to do so much work, you get so close to the podium, so close to a medal, and then you have to say goodbye to all of it after qualification, after shoot-offs. It can really be a tough one. So the next 5 targets might be a bit more challenging. How did you feel in this part of the final between 30 and 35th? Because everything can happen. I mean, you can have 2 or 3 missed targets in a row, and it has happened to the best of the athletes as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think in my final, I felt decently confident right here. I think I had a couple targets of a lead. But for these guys, they're all tied, so that's a more nerve-wracking feeling. So I would definitely, it would be mentally, it's a little challenging, like when it's like that.
Yeah, right now every target counts, as it always does, but sometimes it just seems like it counts a bit more than it usually does, I would say. Palatsky lost his target headed go to Murcia. It's the target as well. All right, now the rest of the athletes have put Jan Palatsky in a not the best situation. Now you go two in a row. What do you do in a situation like this? And he's had an amazing qualification. He's only missed 1 target in 125 targets, but we do need to take in consideration that he was able to shoot twice onto a target. So right now, 2 times in a row. Would you be shaking?
I would definitely be shaking. But as like his qualification, it shows like he's extremely talented. So I think he could figure it out and he could stay in.
Yeah, the only way he can stay in right now is if he ties with one of the other athletes in here, and that's the only thing he's got going for himself right now after losing 2 targets in a row in this moment. But we're gonna, yeah, let's wait and see what happens. That's a hit from Peters as well. I would say Palatsky needs a hit right here. Yeah, that was not even a not even a question. Now, if any of the athletes miss, Palatsky is on the podium. If everyone hits, he's out. I don't know if it's better to stay behind and know that it's out of your control right now and you've done everything you could, or what he's going through right now. But Heading hit his, Murcia hit his, and Palatsky now has one chance from the Belgium athlete. Yeah. Nobody got too pressured. Everybody was able to stay calm and collected, and they kicked out the first qualifier, Jan Palatsky of Czechia. This was his first final. I think we're going to see more of Jan Palatsky, the 24-year-old who's shot a really, really good qualification, which means this is not the last time, I presume, that we see him at a final of a World Cup. But here we have the tightest final that we've seen so far at this World Cup. We did have those that day of skeet as well, and nothing came close to this. All three men at the top are tied right now, Heading, Murcia and Peters. The next 5 are to decide the bronze medal, and then we have 10 more targets to decide on the gold. You would think that there's going to be more drama right now. But no, they seem to be just really confident and okay with shooting in the finals and doing what they know how to do. At least from an outsider over here watching. Heading's hit 2 targets already. Seems like a nice tempo. Do you ever, because you have the mixed team events and of course you shoot together against another team, but in your trainings do you shoot with your fellow men?
Normally in the US we don't. A lot of us live actually pretty far away from each other. And most of the time the mixed teams that we actually compete with overseas, they're chosen from the qualifications shoots in the US. So it's not necessarily someone you always train with. So most of the time I'm just training by myself. So yeah.
All right, and that hasn't stopped you from winning any medals. So you're doing a pretty good job. Heading lost his target over here, so now he's put himself in a bit of a situation right now. He does have the best beep number to stay. But that missed target might cost him a race for the gold. Which can seem heavy. You shoot so many targets down, come to this one, and it looks like this one is to blame. But it's it's all the others that came before as well. Heading needs a hit over here. No space for an error. And that's a hit on a right target. Let's see if Peters is going to give a chance to Heading. No, that's not going to happen. It's going to be a bronze medal that goes to Great Britain. Aaron Heading, the 37-year-old who's won 2 World Cups in his career, in Elaine in 2013, now Malta in 2018, and he's got 2 bronze medals already from Acapulco and in Maribor, and this is going to be his 3rd bronze medal. Seems like this man is only hitting gold or bronze. He doesn't really like the silver, I guess. It's not going to happen this time. And in the race for gold today, we have Belgium and Spain, Manuel Murcia and Yannick Peters competing in the next 10 targets. And now, before it happens, do you think there's going to be a shoot-off?
There's a very good possibility, which they're tied right now, so they're both seem very solid right now, so it definitely could get down to shoot-off.
It's basically a shoot-off at this point because
Right.
they're tied. Here we go. It's going to be a miss from Yannick Peters. Coming into the last 10 targets of this ISSF World Cup in Nicosia, Cyprus 2025. If you're only jumping into the finals right now, you haven't missed the gold medal yet, but you have missed a wonderful women's finals. That's all up on YouTube channel of ISSF and on the Facebook page. And of course, let's not forget our great Instagram page right now where you can see additional content from this competition and other competitions to come as well, of course. It's a little bit of fun over there. We had you in one of our reels on Instagram as well, what you do first thing you wake up in the morning, and you do your Bible studies.
I do.
And it seems like a very good way to start the day, I have to say.
It definitely is. It is the best way, in my opinion.
So 1 target of a difference between Murcia and Peters. Target number 44. There's still a chance to go into a shoot-off, but that miss from Peters shows a bit of a... Oh, another one. It seems like there's some tension going on the Belgium side over here in the finals today. Now it's already 2 targets of a difference. I did not expect that to happen in only 1 round.
Oh.
Oh, how the tables are turning. It's usually it's called the commentator's curse. Whenever you say something, the situation immediately changes. 1 hit of a difference at this point. We still have 5 more targets to go. It is a very tight trap final.
Lucia on 39, Peters on 38. 5 targets now, which could decide who wins the gold medal.
Time for the decision of a gold medal. You just witnessed firsthand what happens in the last 5 targets. What was going through your head? Like, what was the thoughts that you had to push away?
I was already really excited because I knew definitely a silver medal, if not gold. And so I was just trying to do my process, do everything right every single time. Didn't quite get where I wanted, but that's okay. So I was already just so excited. So I was just happy to be up there.
That's amazing. That's a very nice perspective on it. They're still shooting hits on Murcia's side. Peters over here, still only 1 target of a difference. 3 more targets to go. Things could change very quickly, even though it doesn't seem so at this point. But 1 miss from Murcia and things are changing immediately. It's a difference of shooting 3 more targets or potentially shooting 15 more. You never know with shoot-offs. It's a hit from Peters as well. We're coming closer and closer. 2 more targets to go. Now it's really the most stressful moment of the final. The most intense one. And I think the sun setting is a really perfect dramatic lighting coming on to these athletes over here. one target of a difference. If Murcia hits this one, it's going to be a gold medal for Spain. Let's see. And that's a gold medal, but the audience started to celebrate already. That's to be respectable to Peters. Now it's a gold medal for Manuel Murcia of Spain. Last time he was here in Nicosia in 2020, he was 30th. Now he came back at the ISSF World Cup here in Cyprus 2025. Manuel Murcia winning the gold medal. And joined next to him with the silver medal, Yannick Peters of Belgium. Silver medalist from Rio back in 2016, and that's his only World Cup medal. Now he's winning his second silver and his second medal at a World Cup. Here we go, one more time to see it, of the 2025 ISSF World Cup in shotgun trap men event. Aaron Heading with the bronze, Yannick Peters with the silver, and at the top of the podium, Manuel Murcia of Spain. Don't go anywhere yet. It was a great trap event today. Both of them, the women's finals, I have to say, were a bit more rocky and a bit more dramatic. But this was a really, really nice final from men. Really nice, something to enjoy with the sun setting over here easily over us in Nicosia. Don't go anywhere yet. We're going to go to Jamie's Tang room, and he's going to have some interviews with the medalists. But first, Carrie, thank you so much for joining me here today. It was such a pleasure having a conversation with you during this final, and I hope to see you again.
Yeah, it was awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
Manuel, congratulations. You have just won your first Senior World Cup medal, individual World Cup medal. How does it feel?
Congratulazioni perché tu hai ganato la prima final che hai fatto, hai vinto l'oro.
Muchas gracias, es un sueño para mí, siempre estando detrás y al final te metes en la final y puedes ganar, eso ya es un sueño.
I can tell he's a great shooter because in Spain he's winning and he's doing a lot of competition with high score. But he's telling thank you to everyone here because it was his dream to win a medal. The gold is an amazing thing for him.
You did win Junior World Championship bronze back in 1998. Now at the age of 45 in 2025, you've got that all-important World Cup gold medal. And I hear that your son is going to be particularly happy about this news today.
Because tu hai ganato nel 98 la medaglia di bronzo e ora ti gani quella di oro e tu mi hai detto a me che before de partir dalla Spagna tu hai promesso a tuo figlio che torno con la medaglia.
Sí, así es.
¿Sei molto contento de questo?
Sí, estoy muy contento porque yo a mi hijo le dije, yo voy a ir a Chipre, me vas a ver en la final y voy a ganar para ti.
He is very happy because he told, okay, this time I will go there and I will win the gold medal. And look, I dress in the glass because I'm crying too.
You promised your son that you'd do it, and you did do it, and you've made not only your son proud, your coach proud as well. Congratulations, Manuel. Enjoy the podium.
Thank you very much.
Your podium. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Well done, guys. Thank you. Yannick, congratulations, your first final at a World Cup since 2018. You're back on the podium. How does it feel?
It feels great. It's been a rough couple of years and fought hard in the qualification to get here. To be honest, my last round, the fifth round of the qualification, was for me more difficult than the final. I was more nervous. I think I even started the final a little bit too calm, and I fought my way back and I'm on the podium again, so I feel very, very good.
It was a really tough final. Bib numbers were being used quite heavily. So was it a stressful experience?
Yeah, I was always last. So every time I looked at the board, I said last again. So I had to fight. And yeah, like I said, I fought my way to the podium. I'm very, very happy.
And as you mentioned, you had a rough couple of years, but how important is this now for your confidence moving forward?
Yeah, it's a confirmation that I'm on the right track again. Yes, I put some stuff behind me and I'm trying to look forward and really work on the range.
Well, Yannick, you are back. Good luck moving forward, but for now, enjoy the podium.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Aaron, congratulations. You have just picked up your 5th World Cup medal. It's bronze here in Nicosia. I'm going to ask you how you feel, but I kind of already know because you just told me off camera that you really weren't expecting this.
Yeah, no. After the last few weeks, it's the whole training schedule went out the window. My father fell a bit ill, and so I had to work, which is not great. But yeah, completely unexpected.
Sorry to hear about your dad. I hope he's in better health now. But about that final, it was a tough one, wasn't it? You were up there at the top. You were facing elimination. Bib numbers were working hard. What was going through your mind?
In all honesty, it was fantastic. Everybody was shooting really well, which just raises our game. The conditions were a little bit difficult with the light and the wind, but it produced hopefully something for the viewers to get real nail biter.
You mentioned the wind there.
How relieved were you? Because you must have been around during the women's final where it was crazy, like gale-like winds. How relieved were you that it calmed down a bit at least for your final?
No, it didn't. It was 10 times worse, okay? It was really...
No, it wasn't.
No, it was... Yeah, no, it has calmed down. Obviously, with the evening, it's just settled down a bit, but it's still out there. It's still just keeping you on your toes.
Yeah, well, hopefully you'll keep on the podium. We don't want you blowing off. Enjoy that podium, Aaron. Bronze here in Nicosia.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Cheers.
contribution and friendship to the shooting sports community. The first award will be presented to Mr. Iotis Ioannidis, Secretary General of the Cyprus Olympic Committee. So once again, this is the official ISSF plaque or crest, diploma of honor. Congratulations again to Mr. Iotis Ioannidis, Secretary General of the Cyprus Olympic Committee. Next, if we could call forward Mr. Lenos Kyriako, Cyprus Shooting Sport Federation President. Mr. Kyriako is also receiving the ISSF plaque and diploma in honour of his contribution to the shooting sport community. Next is Mr. Michael Diakos, Cyprus Shooting Sport Federation Secretary General. Also receiving the Diploma of Honour and ISSF plaque, honouring his impressive contribution to the shooting sports community and friendship. Next is Mr. Haralambos Simolivitis, President of the Nicosia Shooting Club. Also receiving the plaque and diploma of honour, President of the Nicosia Shooting Club, Mr. Haralambos Simolivitis. Thank you very much. And next, it is Petros Ioannou, Director of the Cyprus Shooting Sport Federation and Competition Manager for this World Cup. Mr. Ioannou has received the Diploma of Honour and ISSF plaque for all of his hard work and dedication to the shooting sport community. And last but of course not least, Mrs. Maria Yokachi, Council Member of the Nicosia Shooting Club. Mrs. Yokachi is receiving the Diploma of Honour, honouring her contribution to the sport. Thank you very much. We will have the medal ceremonies for the trap events in just a moment, but first, Mr. Lenos Kyriakou, President of the Cyprus Shooting Sport Federation, would like to present to Mr. Luciano Rossi, President of the ISSF, a commemorative gift to mark the excellent cooperation between the federations for this World Cup and the friendship demonstrated as well. And next, Mr. Michael Diakos, Secretary General of the Cyprus Shooting Sport Federation, will be presenting a commemorative gift, a pen, to the Secretary General of the ISSF, Mr. Alessandro Nicosia di San Giacomo. This is a special pen being presented once again to recognise and show gratitude for the cooperation and friendship demonstrated in organising this ISSF World Cup Nicosia 2025.
Now we do the medal ceremony.
Ladies and gentlemen, the medal ceremony for the ISSF World Cup Nicosia 2025 will now take place. This is the medal ceremony for the trap women's event. The medals will be presented by Mr. Luciano Rossi, President of the ISSF. He is accompanied by Mr. Lenos Kyriakou, President of the Cyprus Shooting Sports Federation. Bronze medalist representing San Marino, Alessandra Perilli. Silver medalist, representing the United States of America, Carrie Garrison. And the gold medalist representing AIN, Lada Denisova. Ladies and gentlemen, if you can, please stand for the anthem of AIN. Congratulations to the medalists of the trap women's event. We'll now pause for photographs to be taken, and then we'll be back again with the trap men's medal ceremony. For our three medalists, for a photo opportunity at the podium. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, the medal ceremony for the ISSF World Cup Nicosia 2025 will now take place. This is the medal ceremony for the trap men's event. The medals will be presented by Mr. Luciano Rossi, President of the ISSF. He is accompanied by Mr. Iotis Ioannidis, Secretary General of the Cyprus National Olympic Committee. Bronze medalist representing Great Britain, Aaron Heading. Silver medalist representing Belgium, Yannick Peters. And the gold medalist, representing Spain, Manuel Murcia. Ladies and gentlemen, if you can, please stand for the anthem of Spain. Congratulations to the medalists of the trap men's event. We'll now take a moment for photos to be taken of the medalists with the medal presenters. And the coaches. So if we can have the coaches of the medalists for the trap men's event from Great Britain, Belgium and Spain, if you could come forward for a photo. Thank you very much. Spain and Belgium are here. Where is Great Britain? He's having another photo taken. He's a popular man. And that is all for the ISSF World Cup Nicosia 2025 for today. We'll be back tomorrow with the Trap Mixed Team event. But for now, we wish you a safe journey home. Thank you for joining us.